How to analyze worries easily using the Sky Yoga system. Be blessed. Let us begin to analyze worries. The problems which lead to worries must be divided into 4 groups. Problems that must be faced or endured. Problems that must be kept in abeyance, knowing that they will be solved by society or by the law of nature in due course of time. Problems that must be ignored and problems that must be solved immediately. Let us consider some examples. Let us say a child is physically handicapped by polio at the age of 2. We know it cannot be cured by medicine or any other means. How can this problem be solved? It can only be solved by developing our minds in their resolution to be firm and to live with the infirmity. In the same manner, what can be done if an individual loses a limb because of an accident? What use is there in brooding over these kind of problems? We should find out how best the problem may be managed and cultivate cheerfulness so as to mitigate the suffering of the affected one and others close to him. And that alone is the way of wisdom. This is an example of a problem to be faced or endured. In a family, one son may be called for military service in time of war. The parents may exhaust their mental energy by worrying over his safety. This, however, is dependent on nature and the community, not just individual effort. Such problems can only be solved when the time comes. And while we perform our duties, we must cultivate the patience to allow nature to produce the result at an appropriate time. This is a problem to be resolved only by the law of nature and society over time. In a household, it is possible that the head of the family or another elderly person has outmoded ideas. He may be in need of habit of voicing nagging comments to others who do not follow his advice. We cannot wish him off the scene. So while we remain kind and considerate to him in our behavior, we quietly do what is best for the family. We may remain unmindful of the advice offered to us. In the same class of problems are troublesome neighbors, trying to provoke us with harsh words and actions born of jealousy or spite. We must turn a deaf ear to them and let the problem subside over time, unless the activities of the mischief mongers are of such dimension that positive action is warranted. These are problems which may be ignored. A family has property worth $100,000. It has a debt of $10,000. If this debt cannot be cleared within the family income in the near future, then the best thing to do is to sell a part of the property and dispose of the debt. This is a problem to be solved immediately. We have to analyze our problems in this manner and try to solve them according to the circumstances. It is useless to merely worry over the problems because both the problems and the worries will only increase. If the problems are faced boldly with proper thinking and endeavor, they can be solved. The worries will cease to exist. The sources of our worries are generally poverty, disease, debts, difference of opinions in the family, greed, jealousy, fear of death of self or relative, and loss of wealth, influence, or prestige. We can get rid of poverty and debt by hard work, perseverance, and thrift in spending. Diseases can be managed by taking proper medication and by adopting a mode of life that is in tune with nature. Differences of opinions in the family can easily be resolved with mutual discussion and consent. Loss of wealth, influence, and fame can be made up by our constant endeavor, righteousness, and sincere service to the community at large. It is not wise to think that all things will be done automatically, even if we do our duties. The nature has given you a gift of intelligence. Use it wisely. Learn to meditate on your own life force, Kundalini Shakti, and learn to keep your mind at the alpha level and analyze your worries. It is the first step towards eradication of worries. Visit simplifiedkundaliniyoga.com and start analyzing your worries today. Be blessed by the divine.